Starting out with good morning, everybody. Welcome to Inside Out, brought to you by Promise Resource Network. We were just talking about anger and how it affects us, and that's what we're going to talk about today. This is our last class on anger for this section of talking about emotions. So don't I know it seems like we've been talking about anger forever, but it's an important topic, isn't it? Yeah. It is my go-to after I've been triggered. Right? So anyway, Inside Out, How Not to Lose Your Shit, part 4. Sound good? Mm-hmm. Okay, let's go over a little bit of what we talked about before we get started, just to kind of wrap up everything all together. We said that anger is good, right? Anger's good.
It's an energy.
It is an energy. It's a form of energy that we can use either to create or destroy. The two kinds of anger are destructive anger and constructive anger. What am I choosing today?
Constructive.
That's what I want. I want to be able to use that energy, that adrenaline, that all of that stuff that comes along with anger, the adrenaline, the happy juice, all that stuff that we get. I want to be able to use that for good, right? I want to be able to hold up the picket sign and say, this is injustice. I will not tolerate this anymore, right? That's what I want. Good morning, Joshua. Oh, you shared it. Thank you. So the two types of anger, and anger is good. We want to use anger in an effective way. We want to be able to harness that energy. Harness that energy. I'm getting Porter up here in the front. So. All the good kids get to sit in anywhere they want, actually. Right? We're all good kids.
Right beside the teacher.
Right beside the teacher. Behind all anger is unmet needs. I'm going to lose something I've got or not get something I want. That's the fears I have today. I'm going to lose something I've got or not get something I want. And that causes me anger. I mean, that makes sense, right? I've got unmet needs.
Right.
I'm pissed. They're not being met. Right? Whatever that is, whether that's physical needs, food, water, shelter, emotional needs, someone to talk to, spiritual needs, someone to connect with.
Because you want to be seen. That's
Yes.
why you get angry, because when a person has an outburst, the whole room looks at them.
Yes.
So even for good attention or bad attention, it's attention. You're looking at me.
I heard the best, hold on, Elijah. I heard the best quote. It said that, well, crap. Attention seeking is not attention seeking. It's connection seeking. Isn't that good? Connection seeking. And I got to remember that today. When somebody and I am showing out, it's not that I want everybody to look at me. I want somebody to connect with me. What you got, Elijah? Nope. Then you go over to the other building. All right. So, what we do before anger, what we can do before anger, we can notice who angers hurt. I think that's the biggest one.
Say that again.
Notice who anger has hurt in our lives. Who are those people that I've pushed away? Who are those people that aren't in my life anymore because of how I acted, because I raged at them, right? I want to be able to, yes, sir.
Sometimes it can be family,
Ooh.
and those moments are precious, because if you let your anger get out of control, you could possibly destroy things, say things that cut like a knife.
Oh, yeah.
And if that person passes away and you don't have a chance to make things right, you have to live sort of with that regret.
Yeah.
So it's important to learn how to control your anger.
I gotta be able to communicate in a way that I don't feel like I didn't give my best.
Right, like think before you speak, and those things come into play.
Think before you speak. Think before we act.
Right.
And I like what you said about, people aren't going to be around forever.
Right.
And when I can think of that, I may only have them for a little while longer, whether it's a friend, whether it's a family member, somebody in the community. I may not have them for too much longer. That gives a lot of grace, doesn't it? I can give grace if I can think from that perspective. Yeah,
I say when anger builds a wall, it's a protection, but it doesn't allow help or any even suggestion of how to handle things differently. When you get angry, like it builds that wall, and no one wants to even come in toward it to penetrate because they want to. Sometimes you need to get that out, but you don't know how to get it out in a way that people can not be so like I don't even want to get near you because I'm scared that you're going to explode you because you don't know how to control your anger.
Yeah. I don't know how to harness that power.
We've seen that so many times. We've seen a bad behavior being rewarded, and it's hard to tell children to do one thing, and we see on the media being rewarded by this. We have to see an example that that's not what to do.
Yeah.
You can see that and use that as an example of what I do not want to do with my life. We don't have to do the people we see.
That's it.
You know it's easy to because I see you do it. Oh, it gives me permission to do it because you did it. No, because you did it. I see what it does to me. Now I know I don't want to do it anymore.
Yeah.
Ow! What the hell was that?
Anger.
I
That
know,
was
right?
good. Good example. I don't know. We dropped something. That's all right. It's good. Welcome to PRN, where you never know when something's going to happen.
Everything's an example. Everything can be used. That example can be used by you can get angry over that, but what can that do?
I got to remember who I'm affecting and who I'm infecting. Right? I'm a model today. You're right. People, I'm grounded in recovery. I don't have that luxury to go around Charlotte just picking my nose and acting an ass. Right? People know me today. That's one thing that I'm upset about. When I came down here, nobody knew me. I could just drive down the road picking my nose. Now I'm like, it's like, hey, Sharon, I'm like, can't get away with anything anymore. But it doesn't make me angry anymore. So, yes, Rob.
In my first year of sobriety,
Yes, dear.
I was really angry. I came out of getting sober angry at the world, angry at my disease, angry at God, you name it. I didn't feel like life had dealt me a fair set of cards. But as I worked through that anger, expressed it sometimes and had to make amends.
Yes.
But talk to somebody, a mentor, you, anybody, it doesn't matter, about what was really behind all that anger. And for me, turning that character defect over to a higher power, let somebody else work on me because I couldn't stop it on my own.
Yeah.
I'm not going to ever say I've conquered anger because I don't know who's going to anger me in the next minute.
Yeah.
But from where it was then, which was every day, to where it is now, which is hardly at all, is a miracle.
It is
I'm
a
grateful
miracle.
for it.
It is a miracle because and we see miracles every day, don't we?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We see miracles in ourselves by changed behavior and changed thoughts. Right? That's they told me don't leave before the miracle.
Mm-hmm.
And it is when we face things, when we think about what am I going to lose if I do this? People, places, and things, jobs, cars, homes, right? Friends, family, absolutely. So then, what do we do during an anger outburst? We're in the throes of it. That is not the time to go, wonder what's behind it.
Give me a minute. Let me just pick a moment.
Let me think. That's not the time because we're in it.
Yeah.
Right? We're in the anger. At that moment, the best thing we can do is try to contain it. Try to get to safety. We use the example of the chemical spill. Oops, sorry. The chemical spill was really bad.
I'll give you an example.
And when that happens, they put those rubber things around it to keep it contained.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want it to spread. Right? That's what I want to do with my anger. I want to contain it. I don't want to have it get out and less controllable. Right? I want to be able to keep it in a space so that I can better handle what's going
And
on.
I have a propensity to continue to talk about the problem. I don't talk about the problem. I ask people for solutions. Like, I don't read you always talk about a problem that happened like 2 years ago. And guess what? Why would you bring that back up? you don't have a solution for me, if I don't have a solution, what is the point of us continuing to bring up a problem? Like,
See, you're ahead of the game already. We're still in contained.
this coffee is pretty.
It's that coffee, absolutely.
I feel like I've been drugged or Bill Cosby. I'm a little sleepy.
Stop.
I'm a little dizzy.
Oh my
I'm a little lightheaded.
Help us, please help
I see double
us.
vision.
All right, so delay or timeout. When I'm in that space where I am not in best control, leave. I can leave. I drive. I don't care where we go, I'm driving. If it's down the street or across the country, you will see my ass in the front seat. Because if things go bad, I want to be able to get out. I want to be able to walk away if I have to. And you never know when that's going to happen, right? Somebody comes at us. It causes that rage. I don't want to spread that today. I want to be, if nothing else, tell people, man, I got to go to the bathroom. Give me a minute. And then just don't come back.
That's the one thing was here. Like, I remember in school we used to prepare for like tornado drills and storms like that. We never had them happen, but at least if they did happen, we would know what to do. We would like whatever happened. Because as you say, when it happens, you're not thinking.
Yeah.
Usually when you're angry, when I'm angry, I'm not using my brain. I'm using my emotions.
Yes.
It's not logical why I'm angry at this person. I'm angry at the person at Walgreens. It's not logical because I can't get what I want. But
Yeah.
if I think logically,
Yeah.
like, is this really gonna help the situation at all? Is me angry at you?
Yeah.
I need something from you. So me
Yeah.
being angry at you is not gonna solve the issue by me saying no. Have empathy. Like, listen, maybe give you patience. Like, maybe step back and say, like, you know what? So what can I? And it's use a different voice, a different way of asking for. Like, I apologize. You can always say, I apologize after you have anger. Because we do have instances where we get angry and then we just come back and say, you know what, I do apologize.
Yeah.
I use the voice that was wrong.
That's it. We don't want first do no harm.
Yeah.
First do no harm. That's what I want to do today. I want to be conscious of how
Accountability.
I want to be accountable today. Thank you, Porter. I want to be accountable today to myself and other people. That I'm not causing harm. Right. But in the throes of that, like you said, in the throes of it, my brain isn't working real good. So I've just got to concentrate on basic things. Get the hell out. Do something that can help me feel like I'm in control. Because what I've done is I've lost control. What can I do? I can clean a room. I can sweep. I can go for a jog. I can do something that shifts what I'm thinking and feeling at that moment back to something that is within my control. If I do that, I can begin to release that anger. I can begin to stay in that safe place, right?
Patrick, you have something to say?
Oh, Patrick, yes, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, you could watch like funny videos. You can
Yes.
listen to music. Well, depending on the genre.
Yeah. Yeah.
It could
Yeah. You don't get too wound up.
Yeah. It could elevate. What do you call it? Make the mood worse.
Yeah.
Genre.
Exacerbate.
Like if you're gonna listen to rock music, it could make you want to flip out or rap or whatever, you know.
Yes.
Some calming music.
Yeah.
You have the choice.
Music is power, isn't it? Music has power of its own, and it can calm or it can rile up. Right? Think of that song, just gets you all wound up,
Yeah.
take you back to that time when that person broke up with you in junior high, and you're like,
Yes. Oh, when you're calling, you don't know nobody looking at you. Oh, they were sharing, like, people, like, we always talk about how he's very calm. I forget what your name is, Edward. He's so calm. Have people in your circle that you know that can calm you down. Like, say, I can call you, like, listen, this is what's going on. They can give you good examples because they know how to handle. You've seen them show that they be able to handle anger in a way that you want to. So ask them, like, so how do you do this? What would you do in this situation? I don't know.
absolutely. We look for that. Sometimes I need somebody to put their hand on my shoulder and say, let's get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
Because it's not going well. Right. If anybody's ever said to you, girl, I saw your face from across the room and I knew it was going to get ugly. Right?
Want me to get a chair?
No, we're good. We got a big crowd today. I'm so glad.
Okay.
All right. Okay, what else can we do? We can ask for help from other people. We can get that tag. Tag, you're it. Get me out of here.
Relay.
Take me out.
Jesus, take the wheel.
Jesus, take the whole car.
Get me a car first. then
See the good in other people, right? We want to see the good in other people, which is really hard in that instance. That I'm in the throes of anger. It's really hard for me to see the good, but if I can take a step back and say to myself, if I can take a step back and say to myself that, excuse me, if I could take a step back and say to myself, this is not how they usually are. What's going on? This, in the same way, this is not how I usually am. Ask me what's going on, right? So, see the good in people is another thing we can do. Ask for help. Remember to stay humble. We're not always right. We're not always right. Okay, so now we're to after. What do we do after anger? After the shit has hit the fan. You know, they say the shit has hit the fan, right? It's good if you're behind the fan because that way you don't get no shit on you, right?
Right.
It's about where you want to be in the fan.
Right.
I don't want to be in front of the fan anymore. So I want to figure out a way that I don't get those repercussions from anger and anger outburst, right? So let's see. Behind all anger are unmet needs. Hear the whisper behind the anger. If you try to push it away without looking at it, it'll keep coming back. Robin said it'll keep coming back till I look at this thing and see, what is this? What's behind this? Excellent. It'll keep coming back. Note that listening is meant broadly. It means both listening to ourselves and getting others to listen to. The key step for us is to hear it clearly. If we can hear it, we can learn to express it clearly to others. And if we can learn to hear it clearly, we can then work to get our needs met in an effective way. Communication. Communication. I want to be able to speak in a way, first, that I'm heard. Barbara said, first, that I'm heard. Hear me.
If you yell and I can't hear anything you're saying.
When some people yell, I can't hear. The louder people get, the less I hear them. So, what is behind that message? What is behind that anger? I want to take a step back. I want to get with someone. I got to get with someone because I can't often see it. Yes, dear.
I'm glad you said that right then, because one of the things that I had trouble with is my perception. You know, and you just said something about hearing it. Am I hearing this correctly?
Yes.
You know, that's why it's good to bounce it
Yes.
off of somebody else, because a lot of times, I'd say even up to 80% of the time, I heard what somebody said differently than what she heard her say,
Yes.
and hers makes a lot more sense than mine because it
Yes.
involves anger, right?
Yeah. I want to be able to talk to those people that can tell me the truth about the situation
Mhm.
and help me say, am I overreacting?
Right, that's what I was trying to say.
Am I overreacting?
Mhm.
Give a person a call and say, this is a situation. This is how I see it. Is there another way that I'm missing? Right.
Sharon, I think sometimes, and for me, I've learned that I resort to anger because this is a default emotion for me.
Yes.
I'm not even angry. I'm hurt. I'm sad, but I can't show that to you because all I can show you is anger because that's what I've seen.
Yes.
Nobody in my family shows that they're hurt. I just see anger, but when I come at the end of it, you're just hurt. You're hurt by what I said to you,
Yeah.
but I don't know that because you're getting angry with me. But we had that conversation like, listen, I wish you would talk to me that way. And this is what you said you embarrassed me or how I was treated in childhood. I'm angry with you now, but if I'm angry with you back, you don't even hear that. Communicate with you. Say that hurt.
That is about the communication, isn't it? It's about how I come across, not how I come across, but the truth I speak to you. When I am in that situation, I can't really speak. I'm all wound up. But afterwards, that's when I step back and take a look. That's where I step back and say, my parents taught me this way. Is that the way I want to continue to be? And that's a choice, isn't it?
Yeah.
We're all grown and in recovery. Got to quit blaming your mama at some point.
You
Yes,
are, Mama.
dear.
I have a family member that's always angry.
Yes.
And always, showing out and then will send nasty texts and it's just like who he is.
Yeah.
And I've had to set some really strong boundaries where I just said yesterday, you're going to lose me. if this continues, the boundary is that you either treat me the way that I deserve to be treated or you're going to lose me.
Yes.
So setting boundaries is helpful with somebody who's angry with you.
Absolutely. Taking that information and saying, is this acceptable to me?
Right.
Beyond my anger, is this person what I want in my life?
Yeah. Because you continually get hurt and feel
Yeah.
bad. And it's like, I wouldn't allow anybody here to treat me that way. Why would I
Yes.
allow my family member,
Absolutely. But it's harder, isn't it? when
It's harder,
family? Yeah. Yeah, it is hard. It's hard to set those boundaries, right? I have a terrible time with no. It's November.
I know. Maybe. That's why I say I always
What-
say I don't always say no because I give myself a leeway because I always it's not always no, but no, not right now.
Yeah.
I give myself time to think about it because I may not say no right now, but maybe I can make time for it if I can figure out if this is important for me or
Yes.
something that's beneficial to both of us. Even like doctor's appointments, like I can't do it right now. I can't say yes to those. I'm like, not right now. Let me check to make sure that it's not going to interfere with my making sure that I can maintain.
Yeah.
Because if it's not going to interfere with mine, because I'm going to be angry with you because I made a decision, but I have to learn to put those boundaries up. And usually I get angry because the boundaries that I don't set.
That's it. I'm angry at myself, not at the other
Yeah.
person. The other person's walking on me because I taught him that.
Yeah, that's true.
Well,
Stay away from shoulds. Don't should on people,
should be.
right? You should do this. Well, I like the finger too. You should, right? Don't tell me what I should do.
Get your finger.
Get your finger out of my
Put
face.
your finger in my face.
It angers me. It angers me. I want to be sure that I'm not doing the same thing to somebody else, right? I want to make sure that I'm communicating to someone when they say no to me and I get pissed off. How can I communicate in a different way? Because it may not be today that we get that done. Acceptance of the word no and other people's boundaries is real important too. It's real important. So stay away from those shoulds. I should have allows me to beat myself up, doesn't it? It allows it. And I don't want that today. I want to be happy, right? That's it. I want to be happy. I don't want to be angry anymore. It takes so much out of me.
It takes your health.
It does take your health.
Stroke, shorter life. You won't be angry long. Don't worry.
Yeah.
God, you're only 25 years old. God, I could have sworn you like that. Ages you.
Let's see. Strive to get your meds need through your own efforts. If someone can help me and that pisses me off, what can I do to empower myself? What can I do? Who has the answer for me? Porter talked earlier about solution. I want to be able to find that person that has a solution so that I can get my needs met. Right? That's it. I want to get my needs. I want what I want. Help me. You tell me no, I get pissed off. What am I going to do now? How do I communicate? Do I continue to communicate to you, to this person that's told me no? How can I say, you know what? I really need to figure out how to do this. Can you help me? Those words are powerful.
Sometimes because we need to help ourselves. Sometimes we just so busy wanting other people to help us, but then I need to learn how to help myself.
Yes.
I don't always need help to do everything because it enables me. It enables me to not to be independent and self-sufficient.
Yes.
It gives me power when I can help myself. I can do things like be an advocate for myself. I don't need you to advocate for me. I know how to stand up. I know how to educate myself and ask the right questions now.
That's it. If I
You
take
learn
care of
to-
myself and I'm not dependent on other people, no doesn't affect me as
I
much.
don't need you. I don't. And then and for me, like I don't. I think when I used to get so when I'm not okay with myself, everything else affects me.
Yeah.
But if I'm not okay with my health, my finances, when I've been living in the past, like I wish I would have done this. I wouldn't be in the circumstances. Accept where you are and take accountability for what you've done.
Yeah.
What can I do right now? I can't
Yeah.
change the past. I don't know what the future's going to bring, but what can I do right now? I have to learn how to be happy right now, wherever I am in the moment, because this is where it is. It's all I have
Yeah.
is this moment.
This moment I can't change. What is it if you got 1 foot in the future and 1 foot in the past you're pissing on today? You're missing everything of today, and you're right, Porter. We want to stay in the moment because that's the only time I can choose. I can't fix the past. I can't change the past. Not even God can change the past. I can't control the future, what may come. I can prepare. I can make amends for the past if I need to. Learn compassion. Learn how to accept other people where they are. If I have done something that has hurt you, I don't want that to. I don't want that to sit. I don't want that to be who I am today to someone else. I want to be able to show that compassion, show that love, show that acceptance and respect. Oh, yes, sir.
Hey, like that's where I say, we have to take in. It's hard. It is hard to take into consideration, before we get angry at someone. Like how in the morning if you're in traffic or you go to the gas station and get anything, coffee, anything, someone is so upset or they say something, they're upset. They say something to you or out the way or
Yeah.
they're snapping on people. If you can just take a moment and think about, you don't know what they got going on. They could have received some bad news that they lost someone important to them, a family member, friend. They could have just received information they got fired from their job and they have a mortgage payment to pay, and they don't know how they're going to pay it, the car payments and things. Any kind of news they could have just received.
Yeah.
Or something simple as their blood pressure could be up. That makes
Their sugar.
That makes you angry. Yeah.
Yeah, their sugar may be off.
Right here.
Yeah, the physical aspect of it.
There's so many things to take into account that possibly could be wrong with that person. So if we can stop and weigh out the situation before becoming irate and fighting with the person that becomes physical, not just verbal, then I think it'll make it a lot easier too.
A little bit of compassion and grace.
Right. Just take a step back and say, what's really, I don't know
What's
wrong
really
with this
going
person.
on?
Yeah.
What's that why behind the what?
And the thing is, but I don't know, maybe my family will get the opportunity to have these kind of classes. It's not taught widely, so I have to give you grace for not having the tools. I can get mad at you for not knowing how to build something if you don't know how to.
Yeah.
Like if you get mad at
Well,
the
like
baby,
that
why don't you not do this? Maybe my sister now has 2 3-year-olds. Then you get mad at them. They don't know how to do something. You get mad at them for not knowing how to do something.
Yeah.
You teach them. You
Yeah.
get angry. It's not going to help them to teach them how
Yeah.
to do it. Why don't you not do that? Well, then teach them and be the example. This is how you do it.
We
This is
take
how
that
you-
into
this
account,
is how
don't we?
you have to take account that you maybe not know, don't have the
Yeah.
information, don't have the tools.
Absolutely. And when you don't know, you can't know. But once you know, you know.
That's
Once
the
you know,
reason why
you
you're
know.
in their life, to show them how to
Yeah.
handle a situation the correct way.
And that's it. We need to take that into account, that what's going on with that person and how can I help? How can I help them get the solution so they're not going through the same thing I've been through? I don't want you to have to go through what I went through, and that's why I want to show my best. I want to teach today. I want to be able to show the world a different way than aggression, than hostility, than poking at each other. I need to get off Facebook. Period. I need to get off Facebook because there are a lot of things that make me mad on there. But I want to be informed. So that's the key. I want to be able to find a solution to that where I get information from people I love without being offended. Yes, sir.
And a lot of times we do have the power and don't realize it. Like it's something like simple as the phone. If someone calls you, you have a choice to either answer or not. Secondly, when you pick up, if the person's arguing or yelling at you anything, you have the power. That little red button to hang up or end call.
It's right there.
You can just hit it.
There you go.
I use that.
In a way, the same thing applies out here in the world.
Yes.
If the person's arguing with you or starts an argument or says something you don't like, you have the power to walk away and separate yourself. Now, if you make the choice to entertain that and
Yes.
fuel that fire, that's your choice.
Yes.
Just know it can lead to much more.
It can take me where I've been before.
Right, jail, losing
Institution,
recovery.
yes.
We've come too far to let
Yes.
someone take our power. That is power.
That's it. It's our choice today.
Right.
And even on Facebook, like you have the option to turn up the comments. You don't have to. You can post your pictures and not have to have people comment on it. But
Right.
if you choose to turn the comments on it, you can offended. Like, oh, I don't like being on Facebook. You can use it for what it's intended to.
Yeah,
Even
yeah,
like
yeah.
the news, you don't have to look at every news
I just,
channel.
you know what? I don't need to get my news from
But you don't have.
Facebook
You can look at the
anyway.
paper. If you read the paper, you don't have to have all these flashes and
Yeah.
say you can get your information a different
Yeah.
way. You can choose
Yeah.
to get. You have the
I
power
can
to
block
choose.
or I can snooze. You are so
It's
right.
like you don't have to get it that way. You
No,
don't have to be
I don't.
attached to a phone. Like I'm grateful that I grew up in a time where we didn't have to rely on technology. I had to rely on learning from people and living life.
And that's it. I want to be able. There's information out there. I can get on the web. I can get books. I can get articles. I can all those things. But for me, it's when somebody shows me how to do it. Show me, don't tell me. And we'll quote Gina again. Show me your recovery, don't tell me. And that's the key right there.
And technology gives us the ability to hide behind what we don't want to show. Like you show your best self, you don't go show your worst self, and it's hard to learn when you're not being honest.
Yep.
You can be anything you want to be except yourself.
Right.
But I'm not learning from you if you're not being honest about
Yeah.
what you're going through,
Yep.
what you're doing. Like that's not true.
Notice why you did what you did. That's what the next thing is. Much anger, especially self-harm, comes from self-criticism. If we become angry with ourselves because of something we did or didn't do, try to see why we made that choice. Being compassionate allows us to take responsibility for our actions and move forward. Ooh, I like that. Being compassionate with ourselves. Giving ourselves a break. Some days, all days, I need that. I need a break from myself. I mean, I love it when y'all give me a break.
Please.
Come on, give me some compassion and grace. But that compassion and grace has to come inside me too. I want to be able to be the one that says, Sharon, you're okay today. You're loved today. You do love today. This anger is not who I am. This anger is not what I want to show the world.
It's a symptom of a problem.
It is a symptom of the problem, right? It's all a symptom. Let's get down to the problem. Let's get down to the problem.
And about no, I always say rejection is God's protection, which can lead to redirection. That no is redirecting me to something more positive of where I needed to be. So it's
Yes.
not as negative for me. It's just my higher power redirecting me to where I need to be or where He needs me to be.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
That's not my teacher
absolutely.
sometimes. He needs me to be in a space to being around a person to be the example. Like, and I realized that these things, no and bad, there's no mistakes in my life because
No.
everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
Everything that I thought that's so horrible in my life, it led me to here.
Yeah.
Drugs and mental health, it led me to here. So nothing has to be wasted. Like I learned from you, Sharon.
I don't have to waste that experience of hurting someone or being hurt from
You
by
never know who you
someone.
can learn from.
Yeah.
We come into contact with people for a reason. Even everybody I walked into this room, we are here for a reason. So why
Yeah.
not take the opportunity to learn from everyone?
Yeah. I want to do that. I want to be able to say to myself, I'm surrounded by people that are teachers to me, like I am in this room today. I am surrounded by my experts,
My peers.
right? My peers, the people I want to be around because you all show me. You don't tell me, you show me recovery, and that's what I want today. What else we got for after anger? Notice low-level anger. People who act out anger often have trouble expressing it as it builds up. They bottle it up and then blow up, often triggered by some small event. Notice our anger at a low level, annoyance, it's not rage. You ain't got to go right to rage. You can be a little pissy. I didn't know that. I thought there was anger, rage. I didn't know there was anything in before or after that. There's a little pissy, there's annoyed, there's frustrated. There's a lot to hit before we get to that rage, and I didn't realize that. And that low level rage, I've got to pay attention to because it's going to come out, won't it? It's going to come out. It's going to come out at the lady at the grocery store. Yeah, Patrick.
Right. Cause and effect. That's what I like
Ooh,
to think of.
uh-huh.
Like the news. A lot of times they don't show you the cause. They
Mhm.
just show you the effect.
Wow.
So if you think about what happened, what led up to this,
Yeah.
what was this person's motive?
Yeah.
Had they been putting up with something so long and they just bottled it up, like you said, and
Yeah.
now you see the cause or what led up to it.
Yeah.
If we can figure out the cause, we can probably prevent the effect.
I can figure out what's behind that.
We're gonna have to
And
come
that-
in.
Personal too.
Yeah,
When we feel annoyance and frustration is right where most of it stays for me.
yeah,
When you feel that frustration or annoyance, sometimes I can deal. You need to work that through, because if you work that through, you won't get up to the anger point,
yeah,
right? Why are you frustrated?
yeah,
Is that important? That kind of stuff.
yeah, yeah. To look at what's behind that, so I don't have to go there again. So I don't have to go around that same mountain, right? I'm tired of going around this same mountain. I want to climb it and get over it and be done, right?
Like you said, there's things that in this like Sharon, you said, if you're not angry, you're not awake and aware. Because if you're awake,
Yep.
if you're awake in society right now, there's a lot of things that we can be angry about. So why not use your anger towards so that they can?
Yes.
And it's not anger, but I'm not angry. I'm passionate about. I'm infuriated about where we are right now. Why we need mental health be aware right now, because it is so how we just demonize and pull people down instead of saying, I don't want
Yep.
no more cancel culture. Counsel them. Don't cancel them, because canceling is not taking their voice away.
Yeah.
Everyone has the opportunity to have a voice. We can learn from everyone. We don't have the right to cancel anyone. Counsel them. Teach them. You don't
That's
cancel
our
someone.
job, I think,
You don't banish them
to
from society.
pass on what we've got, so other people don't have to suffer.
Right.
Absolutely, absolutely. Apologize to people we've hurt in our anger. Make amends. That sucks.
Yeah.
A lot of behavior I don't do because I don't want to say I'm sorry to an asshole. I'm just saying, right? If somebody is really like they always are, I'm going to be careful, because I've got to. When I react, chances are I'm going to have to go back and make it right.
Mhm.
Because if I respond, I'm more likely to be able to take care of the situation, to communicate the situation, to be able to give that acceptance, love, and respect. Right? When I'm not in that space, it's really hard. Amends is different than saying I'm sorry. I saw the greatest thing this weekend. It showed this big crack in a mirror, and it showed the little Band-Aid on it.
I saw that too.
You saw that too?
Yeah, I did.
And it says that's what sorry is. Sorry is a little Band-Aid on a big crack.
You should be fine.
Right?
You're not going to change.
No,
You're
it's
gonna
not
change
gonna
your
do
attitude,
anything.
That's just a Band-Aid.
Yeah. So I want to make amends. I want to help figure out how to put that back. Right? How to make that person feel comfortable again after I've raged at them, right? Or after they've raged at me. I want to be able to show my recovery, not say it. Saying it is I'm sorry, and I wore that shit out. Right? I'm sorry, and I never changed anything. True amends is going to someone and saying, how can I make this right in your mind? Not I think I need to do this to make it right. Well, if the person doesn't agree, it doesn't do shit. Right?
Give them a voice.
Such bad language on this show.
I love it.
On this class. All right. So make amends when necessary. Make amends when necessary. And know when I need to go back and look at myself and the why behind what's going on there. And help the other person by saying, you know what, you're acting out of character. You're not usually mad like this. What's going on? How can I help? How can I get the solution? How can I get the solution for myself? How can I get solution for somebody else? I'm supposed to be teaching today. Everywhere I go, at the grocery store, at the car wash, here at PRN. My charge in the world is to change it. If you want to see the change in the world, right, do what we've got to do. And big part of that is learning how to harness that anger, like Porter said, harness it and make it passion. Passion to change injustice. Passion to be the best me I can be. Passion to show other people how to maybe not lose what I've lost in the past. It's not that I know shit. I'm not gonna say I know how to deal with your stuff. I don't know. I'm just working on me, man. That's hard enough. I ain't take your shit off. But I want to be able to take care of myself today. And I want to be able to live in a way that allows other people to say, hopefully, Sharon doesn't get as mad as she used to. I wonder why. Let me see what's going on. Maybe I lost somebody. That's important to me, right? So give the other person a break. Give ourselves a break. Have a little compassion. Have a little compassion. Joshua, I appreciate you being on here today. I appreciate you sharing it. I appreciate the crew. The wisdom in here is amazing.
Sharon.
We already got our cigarettes out. All right, it must be time to go.
Speaking of Sharon.
So let's see. Warm line. The warm line is a 24/7, 365 call away from somebody that knows how to listen. It is an opportunity to speak our truth, right? Give us a call, whether it's 3 o'clock Sunday afternoon or 3 a.m. Wednesday. We're here 24/7. There's somebody to answer the phone. Okay, the number is 833-390-7728. 833-390-7728. Go to our website, look on our Facebook page, the information's there. Reach out. It's good. Share this. Thank you. If you got something out of this, and even if you didn't, share it, because there may be somebody from junior high that you haven't talked to in years that maybe has an issue around anger that this may help. If it helps you, I'm so grateful. But share this. Let's change the world. Let's get the anger out. I want to thank everybody. Keep peace, share love. Go out there and change the world.